that dude looks amazing. Yeah, I need to get a figure of him for my shelf. All right, I didn't have my own toy store when this came out, so I guess I got to go to one of my competitors. All right, let's check Hasbro Pulse. Oh, well, that sucks. It's sold out. I guess I'll go to Entertainment Earth. Oh, look at that. It's also sold out. 2 for 2. Big Bad Toy Store for the win. And it's sold out at Big Bad Toy Store. Awesome. All right, let me check Amazon. Amazon has everything. You, what? You gotta be kidding me. This has to be the most expensive figure in the Studio Series, right? I guess I gotta make a video on it. What's going on, everybody? My name is Matt, often called Big Nerdy. Together, we are the NWO, the Nerd World Order, and this is Nerdzoic. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is history being made today, as this is just the second Transformers video that has ever been on the Nerdzoic channel. That means there's a very good chance that this is our first time meeting. If it is, hello there. I've been collecting toys for about 25 years now, and I started this channel back in 2020 to help everyone escape from the COVID-19 craziness and just nerd out about toys and forget the bad stuff. In full transparency, I was never huge into Transformers as a kid, so it's not really part of my personal collection, but when I started our toy store back in 2021, I had to learn all about them. And what's slowly happening here is I am becoming a late addition to the Transformers fandom. This is kind of random, but have you ever thought about what you might transform into if you were a Transformer? I feel like I'd transform into something kind of stereotypical for an overweight middle-class dude, like a smoker. But not like one of those expensive green egg smokers, more like the electric cheap-ass smoker you get on Amazon. Yeah, it's probably more me. Now, you might have seen our previous Transformers video, which was the most valuable War for Cybertron Kingdom figures, and you might be saying to yourself, okay, you doing another one of these? No, this is the Studio Series. The Transformers Studio Series distinguishes itself by focusing on live action and the original animated movie. The Transformers designs offer screen-accurate figures with detailed movie-inspired features and transformations. And yeah, the Studio Series is what we're talking about today. As opposed to the previous video where we talked about the War for Cybertron trilogy collection, which centers around a specific storyline and aesthetic. If you're a noob to Transformers and you're like, okay, so that's it, right? We only got those 2 lines right now. It's like modern Transformers. No, there's also the Legacy Collection, which encompasses a broader range of Transformers history, incorporating characters and designs from various iterations of the franchise, including the original G1 and other media, and just like comics, literally everything. And that doesn't even get us into like the third-party stuff, but forget that, that's for another day. Let's talk about how the value videos work. So value videos are kind of a cornerstone of this channel. It's one of the things that I started doing at the very beginning that helped us grow. These videos bring together my love of like numbers and statistics, along with my love of like obsessingly going through the Toy Fair price guides back in the day. Now, you can't just look at for sale prices to figure out what a figure is worth. Like the figure I showed at the beginning of the video, that's the asking price. That's not necessarily a fair judge of its value. Instead, we need to look at completed, sold eBay listings and kind of aggregate them together. If only there was a tool for that. Oh wait, there is. Action Figure 411, the greatest toy information resource on the internet. There, I said it. Some fun stats about this top 10 list. 50% of it is Deluxe class, whereas Voyager class accounts for 30%, and the more expensive Leader class is just 20% of the top 10. There's also some interesting patterns shown in the release years of the figures on the top 10, with 2018 only having 20% of the figures, despite it being the year farthest away from, well, where we are. 2019 has the most figures on the list, with the numbers descending from there, which leads me to believe that 2018, the initial year of Studio Series, saw higher print runs and lower retail sales, which led to a slight cut in production in 2019, which kind of tracks with the lack of Transformers product that people felt made it to shelves that retail year. Are you ready for the top 10? Roll out! Coming in at number 10 is the Leader class Grimlock and Wheelie. This was originally $50, it's now going for $204, that's a 307% increase. In the original Transformers animated series, Grimlock, who was the leader of the Dinobots, had a unique speech pattern where he would often refer to himself in the third person and speak in a simplified, primitive manner. So basically think The Rock mixed with Yoda. On the other hand, Wheelie, who's the little small guy, he had a distinctive rhyming speech pattern, which would probably get really annoying if he was a real-life friend. The Wheelie figure does not transform here, it just sits on Grimlock's shoulder on both modes, but Grimlock himself goes from robot to T-Rex mode in 24 steps. Despite some gripes about the quality of the accessories of this Grimlock, like pretty much all Transformers 86 Dinobots, is very sought after. Except for Dinobot Sludge. What's up with that? Coming in at number 9 is the Voyager class Long Haul. Originally $30, it's now going for $123, which is a 308% increase. Long Haul is a member of the Constructicons, a subgroup of the Decepticons, known for their ability to combine and form the colossal Decepticon Combiner, Combiner Transformers have a higher demand than non-Combiner Transformers for obvious reasons. Think like a Build-A-Figure but a Transformer. And it's not surprising at all to see this in the top 10. Coming in at number 8 is the Leader Class Optimus Prime, originally $45, now $194, a 332% increase. Optimus Prime was originally created as a Diaclone toy by the Japanese toy company Takara. Down the line, Hasbro collaborated with Takara to introduce the Transformers toy line that came from that Diaclone toy line to the United States. Optimus, of course, quickly became one of the most loved characters in the entire line. Optimus Prime is known for his strong leadership, unwavering dedication to peace, and his iconic catchphrase, "Autobots, roll out!"
Autobots, roll out!
I imagine this is what God sounds like if he was a Transformer. This is a lot of Optimus Prime. It ain't your daddy's Optimus Prime. Sure, it goes from robot mode to truck mode, but there's also a Jetwing Optimus Prime mode there, and it's a little bit crazy. Now, movie Optimus Prime figures tend to do very well long term. Whether it be the original '07 movie, Revenge of the Fallen, or even the Bumblebee movie version that we recently found a rogue pallet of and had at the store, Optimus always sells well. This one's different though in that it is the only Studio Series Leader Class Optimus Prime. Coming in at number 7 is the Deluxe Leadfoot, a $25 figure. This is now going for $111, which is a 344% increase. Leadfoot debuted in Transformers Dark Side of the Moon back in 2011, and he belongs to the Autobots and is known for his fast-paced and adrenaline-fueled personality. What makes Leadfoot unique though is that he's part of a trio of Autobots called the Wreckers, alongside Roadbuster, Bulldozer, and Topspin. Not that Bulldozer? Leadfoot transforms into a sleek NASCAR Chevy Impala, reflecting his need for speed and love for racing. Kind of like an alien Ricky Bobby.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Now, if the Target emblem on his chest didn't give it away, I'll just tell you, this was a Target exclusive. Many people reportedly never even saw him on shelves, and those who did said he dried up almost immediately, which is why he made it into the top 10. Coming in at number 6 is the Deluxe Ratchet from Dark Side of the Moon. Originally a $20 figure, it's now going for $95, which is a 375% increase. What's unique about this Ratchet is that in Dark Side of the Moon, he receives a significant design upgrade. In previous iterations, Ratchet's alt mode was a search and rescue Hummer H2. However, in Dark Side of the Moon, he gets a new alt mode. He turns into a heavily armed and armored search and rescue H3. This upgrade reflects his role as the Autobots' medic and combat specialist, allowing him to not only provide medical aid, but also engage in fierce battles with his enhanced firepower and durability. Despite having multiple live-action figures already, this Ratchet figure just went crazy over time. I guess people just love Hummers. Giggity giggity! Coming in at number 5 is Topspin. He is going for $100. He was originally $20. That is a 400% increase. Another part of the Autobot subgroup known as the Wreckers, Topspin made his debut in the live-action film Dark Side of the Moon back in 2011. What sets Topspin apart is his alt mode, which is a heavily armed and modified NASCAR Chevy Impala, which is capable of reaching incredible speeds on the racetrack and in combat situations. This is the only Topspin in the Studio Series line. Between that and people trying to build the Wreckers team, this thing has doubled in price just since December of 2022. Coming in at number 4 is the Voyager Sentinel Prime. Originally $30, now going for $153. This is a 409% increase. Sentinel Prime plays a pivotal role in Dark Side of the Moon. He's often portrayed as a revered leader of the Autobots and Optimus Prime's predecessor. But what makes him intriguing is his affiliation with both the Autobots and the Decepticons in this film. This, of course, shocks both the Autobots and the audience. Spoiler alert, it's a 10-year-old movie. This thing converts from a robot to the Jack Bauer, I don't know, fire engine in 32 steps. To date, this is the only Sentinel Prime figure Hasbro has ever made across all lines and all scales. This thing got as high as $265 just 6 months ago, so it's come down just a bit, but it's still crazy expensive. It doesn't help that third-party representation of Sentinel Prime is not huge, and that which has been produced has grown very expensive, forcing collectors to have to buy this version. The only exception to that is, of course, the 3.0 version, but a lot of people don't even consider that a Transformer because it doesn't transform, but I really like those 3.0 Transformers. They look awesome. Coming in at number 3 is the Deluxe Barricade, going for $106. $26. This was originally $20, which is a 429% increase. Barricade is one of the few Transformers to appear in multiple films within the live-action Transformers franchise. He first appears as a Decepticon in the 2007 Transformers movie, where he's a police car that harasses Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. No, I'm not gonna make a joke, it's too easy. Barricade is present throughout the film, and his reoccurring presence highlights his popularity amongst fans and the filmmaker's recognition of his unique design and character traits. Barricade converts from robot mode to a Celine S281 Extreme police car in just 20 steps. Extreme! Until recently, this was actually the only Studio Series Barricade figure, which could be why it's worth so much. For my money though, I would never pay this much on the secondary market for this figure, like not when the Masterpiece version is virtually the same price, and at least on paper, it looks vastly superior. We're getting to the end, folks. Let's go to number 2. Coming in at number 2 is the Deluxe Scrap Metal. He originally was $20, now he's going for $108. That is a 438% increase. Scrap Metal is yet another member of the Constructicons, the previously mentioned group that combines into the Devastator. Scrap Metal is one of the first pieces of the Devastator to be released, and now he is much higher on the aftermarket due to demand of collectors going back to try to complete the Devastator. It is worth noting though, there is a Voyager class version of this known as Scrapper. So, not the same. Let's go to number 1. I have a feeling pretty much everybody knows what this is, but let's see if you're right. Coming in at number 1 is Ironhide, going for $180. This was originally a $30 figure, so that is a 499% increase. Ironhide is one of the oldest and most experienced Autobots in the Transformers universe. He's known for his tight bond with Optimus Prime. In fact, he's his right-hand man and reliable enforcer of justice. Between the reported bad distribution of the original figure, his status as a standout character in the original movie, and the overall character popularity, we end up getting a very hard-to-get figure right from the get-go. And now that we've completed the Studio Series, if you haven't seen it, go check out the Most Valuable War for Cybertron figures. And if you have seen it, check out, I don't know, something else that I made. And remember, you gotta get old, but you don't have to grow up. Just be cool and stay nerdy. Later.